get in the camera.
Hi guys, I am Shaquanda and this is my mother.
Hi, I'm Patricia.
So we wanted to do a brief update and let you guys know that we will definitely be doing live videos, questions and answers on our Broken But Blessed and a mother's and daughter's journey back to one another.
Yes.
Go, Mom.
She said, go, Ma. Okay, what happened was we've only
sorry.
been making videos like the last 2 hours. Somehow or another, they keep getting erased or we get no volume. So hopefully this one is working. What we came today to talk to you about is basically I had made a post earlier in the month about us as mother and daughter coming back to reunite and want to reach back and help other mothers and daughters that have had issues or similar situations that happen in life that kind of disconnected you. Not that you were, not speaking or not having a lot of space in between you, but it's just the point that sometimes until you really hear one another, you don't fully connect as parent and child. So what's going on with us right now is that God has truly blessed us and reuniting us and giving us a newer vision of how we can come back and help some mothers and daughters and not just run on off with our little happiness. We want to share happiness with you guys because we do realize that a lot of people sometimes they find this magic potion and seem like they've always been there. But we want you to know that we haven't always been this close. Hello. Not even because she was my child, nor was it because of the fact that, I'm her mother and she's my daughter or any other reasons why. Simply because there was a disconnection in communication. We'll say that. Because I don't think it had anything to do with our hearts. I've always loved my daughter. My daughter has always loved me. However, she didn't come with instructions and neither did I. I didn't come with instructions on how to be for her to be my child, and she didn't come with instructions for me on how to be her mother. So what we have learned is that now that we are more open, and that's the key, being open to communication and open to truth, and not just your truth, but the truth. Because the truth of the matter is, if your child is feeling some kind of way and something has happened, or whether you think it was the way they said it was or not, guess what? Somewhere up in here and in here, it's still hurting them. So it's a disconnect in between you guys when you can't be authentic and or share stories with one another about what you've experienced as a mother and what you've experienced in the hurt and pain as a child. So what we have learned to do, and I do mean learn to do, because that's the key, that we are learning. So we've learned to listen to one another. And we've learned that when we're having a moment, it don't mean it's going to last forever. It's just that a moment. And we get over it, we build the bridge, and we're done.
But we don't get over it by not talking about it. We actually do speak about it. We just kind of wait until we cool down and then we speak about it. We don't just sweep it under the rug as if, or should I say, we've learned not to just sweep it under the rug and let it just lie and then pick back up the next day like nothing ever happened.
Exactly. I love when she jumps in because see, I
had a lot to say in the beginning, but I was so flustered by the fact that
and she still got a lot to say, trust me. But what I'm saying is how I can pretty much depend on her to jump in and help me out. This is where I've always dreamed of us going, and the same with her. But we didn't know how to get there. I was 16 going on 17 when I had her. So for the last 37 years, she's been my biological, like only flesh and blood. But something was missing. There was something missing. And for me, being 53 years old, something was missing for her. Like, where's this mother that I dreamed about as well? So I know that both of us had something that we knew, like, my mother was the bomb. Let me just throw that in there. We didn't throw that in the first video. So my mother was a loving mother. My mother was there all the time for me and very supportive. So me trying to mimic that, I think sometimes I stepped on my own toes and I didn't quite listen to what she needed versus what I wanted her to have. I wanted her to have this. I wanted her to, and she didn't want that. She wanted me. And I didn't know how to give her me. So when she learned how to ask for me, me showed up. But it was through a lot of hurt. It was through a lot of pain. Her telling me the truth about some things that broke her and some things that hurt her. And that really hurt me to know that I had hurt her that way. That's when you know that you're willing to do the work. So there's work involved, like listening, communicating, knowing when to be quiet, knowing when to go on vacations, knowing when to
support one another, and different ways to support one another. Support doesn't always have to come financially. I think a lot of people get that misconstrued when they think like I want you guys to support me, and it has to be a financial. Supporting comes in many different forms. It's more so investing in one another, whether it be time, just listening, or communicating with each other, or however it is. And also, we're not saying that the way that we've learned to communicate has to be the same thing that you guys have to do in order to be, in a good space with one another. We're just basically saying that where we've come from and how far we've gotten as far as what works for us. Now, what we're definitely hoping to accomplish is that the things that we say to you guys, the stories that we let you in on, that they're inspiration to you guys, and that you guys can find your own way as to how to communicate with each other.
What she said.
So, like I said, I had a lot to say in the beginning, but I didn't know what was going on with this camera or whatever. So, I also wanted to say that if you guys have any questions, also, we're going to be doing the lives, but if you have any questions that you would like to ask in private, please feel free to contact me. I will do my best to get back with you within 24 hours, because sometimes I may, as we all know, life comes and people get busy and things of that sort. But I am definitely going to respond to you, and I'm definitely open to any questions. I've learned that you can't live in light when you stay in dark. And I say that to say you can't live in truth if you haven't lived in your lives. Because we've all lived.
That's good. Look, I'm learning right now. I need a pencil and pad. We didn't rehearse this, so she really teaching me, you can't live in your truth until you lived in your lie. Come on, somebody. Hashtag that.
So I say that to say I have definitely me and my mom have been apart for a while, and I have definitely lived in my truth. I still, to this day, deal with a lot of things as far as the people that I hurt, the manipulation, the pain that I caused, not only just with my mom, with people in general that love me. So we definitely want to be an inspiration to you guys, and we want to make sure that we're answering your questions or we're meeting the needs of, whether it be, and moms, if you have any questions for me as far as how to reach your child, or what tactful tactics that I think that you can use to reach your child, please feel free to inbox me also. I'm not going to be biased about anything. It's just a way to do things, and it's called respect. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm so grateful that my mother has always brought me up in a respectful manner. So that's where a lot of me shedding myself out from expressing myself to her came from, because I always look up and be like, that's my mom, I can't say that, even though I felt that way, but I didn't know how to say it. So today I'm learning how to say things to her and be like, Mom, like, nah, that ain't that.
Right.
So
she just got through dogging me out about my phone, so trust me, she's teaching me. Listen to your kids, listen to your children. And fathers, I don't want to leave you out. I may not know a whole lot about being a man or a son, but what I do know is that parenting is parenting. So some stories we tell you may resonate with you as well, even as we're a mother and daughter finding our way back. Trust me, some of the techniques are still the same, because one thing we do know is that the enemy does not change. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy relationships. And so there are a lot of things that we do, just simply being quiet, or knowing when to hang up and say, I've had enough truth for the day. Because sometimes the truth hurts. And when it's the real, it hurts. Ain't no sometime. It hurts. And you need to sit in that for a moment before you respond. Because when you respond, you might snap out or lash out. And sometimes people can't find their way back from the truth because they don't want to acknowledge the truth. As they say, you can't handle the truth. But I have learned that if me and my daughter could sit right here in the same spot and see the same car accident or any other incident, and guess what? We'll have two different stories. Why? Because she is Shaquanda King and I'm Patricia Johnson. And I see through the eyes that I've been given, and she sees through the eyes that she's been given, and we hear differently. So now that we're learning that when I say pie, it don't mean PIE all the time. It may be pi, the actual symbol for math, right? So just because I have to ask a little questions, it's called motivational interviewing. Like, interview your children a little bit more. Ask them a little bit more about how was their day at school. Because it could just simply be good because it's an ordinary day. And it could be they doing the same thing, but guess what? They're saying, I experienced the same hurt today that I did yesterday. It doesn't say I had a good day. It's just saying it's a good day because I made it through another day of being abused, being bullied, being hurt, being broken. Just because it's a good day doesn't mean it's a good day. You understand? So we have to motivationally interview our children. I just want to give you 2 of my points that I could actually speak before we start speaking that broke me down. One of them was the day that my daughter told me when I got myself together that I left her behind.
One of this day was the day that I came home from 10 and a half years of incarceration. My mom, she knows sometimes I get a little fidgety with her telling my little auntie with her telling my story. But today I am open. I'm willing to let her, because my story is a part of her journey.
Yes.
So,
and her story is a part of my journey.
Exactly. So, all right, go ahead, Ma.
So I was all reared up for her to tell her dad because I was the one that had ran back and forth to visit her. So I figured she was going to tell her dad about how he did her. And when she finished telling him, she turned around and said, oh, and by the way, you. And when she said you, I was so puzzled with her finna tell me. I'm thinking she finna say how much she loved me. And she said, when you got yourself together in 1990, guess what? You forgot about me. And literally, the light went off. I literally did not, and I'm at a party, so I don't want to get defensive, but I had to seriously go in my closet and ask God, what she mean by that? But I never forgot it. It hit my heart because it was truth. And truth is the truth. When I started getting myself clean in 1989, and by 1990, going to school, working 2 jobs, staying busy, I totally forgot about being a parent. The very thing that I was getting myself clean for, I forgot about. Because then it became all about survival. Just staying above water and not getting high again and being a better parent. But I forgot what I even wanted to get clean for. What I even wanted recovery for. It wasn't about me. And it became all about me. And I lost my child to the streets. So I want you to know that when she told me that, I finally got it. I finally got it. So then, of course, what steps in? Guilt. So you start trying to do everything you can to make up. But I couldn't make up. We had to start where we're at today.
I was too far gone by then, at that time, though, just to be honest. Like, I was already out there. Like,
she loving on me to help me because truthfully, I was really trying to do anything I could to take the pain away of the fact that I had hurt her. And so because I knew I had hurt her, my best thing for me to do was to do what? Try my best not to hurt her again. So in all of that, her knowing that that was then where I was at, I believe I became in prison, not because of her, but because of my guilt. It had nothing to do with her, because I could have simply said, I'm done with it, let's move on. But for some reason, it was hurting me so bad, I wanted to help her. And I said all that to say that there was some other milestones that my eyes became open. But the moment that my child forgave me, it was a release in my spirit and in my soul. And I was able to say, we're done with that. Let's move on. And that's where we have been. She has a whole lot to tell you in between that, because I all I know is that from that moment on, I finally found out why my child acted out the way she acted out at that moment. Because number one, I picked her up and just moved her across the world with no cousins, no friends, no family, and just jumped up and left her because I needed recovery. And I'm not saying that that's not best for you or whatever, your family. What I'm saying was I didn't even explain anything to her. I just jumped up and said, well, we got to go. And by then, she had been used to living with her cousins, her friends, her family. She wasn't used to being alone. So it was really a big jump for her. And I never once asked her how did she feel about it. So when we started talking, believe me, it gave me clarity on what was going on. But we don't want to tell our whole story on here. What I'm trying to tell you is that we have a journey.
We be going on and on and on.
And we, yeah, because we could go on and on and on. We have a journey, and we want to share it with you guys. We want to invite you in. We want to be able to finish, because what I know for sure, and what I know for one and for two and for sure, is that the more that we love on others, the more God begins to love on us and pour into us.
And
today,
that can be for you too, not just for us.
It brings hope to us, knowing that we're helping other people, and that when we're broken and you're gonna be able to be the ones that say, "Hey, remember what you told us. Remember what you said to us. Practice what you preach." We're open to that. We want feedback and say, "Now, didn't you just tell us yesterday, blah, blah, blah?" And we go, "Oh, that's right, give me a kiss." And we kiss and make up. But you got to remember, it won't happen like that. We've had plenty
Not physical,
along the way.
like...
Not physical fights, but boom, baby. I'll be like, listen here. Because we've been trained to say children should be seen and not heard. Listen to your children. Erase that out your mind. Children should be seen and heard. So I thank God that I'm able to see my daughter today, even where she don't see herself.
And support. If your kids
yes.
want to do anything in school, they want to be a dancer, you catch them singing, you catch them doing whatever it is, support your children. That's one thing I can say that I'm grateful for. Me and my mom are on two different paths with our brand and everything. Like, she's doing her thing and I'm doing mine. But we definitely support one another. And what I am learning is that, like in the last one that I don't know what happens to, but just to reiterate, we was just saying how you working with your parents, can you get comfortable? You know, like if my mom, even though she's a coach, she's not the coach she's not my coach. She's not for what I'm trying to build. She's not for my vision. She supports my vision, but she's not the coach that I need for my vision. So right. That makes a difference to where I have to get someone who will hold me accountable, as well as she does also. So we definitely support one another and, you know, branch off of each other's ideas or whatever the case may be, without getting comfortable with her being my mom and my coach and me being her daughter and, you know, the person that's doing her marketing or whatever. We just kind of let it be what it is, but we definitely continue to support one another.
Yes. So we just want to hop on here and show you what God is doing in our lives right now. We decided, since this was our last day of vacationing together, since we won't be like this for a couple of months, that we will be on live though, and we got to figure out how to add each other on live so that we'll be able to talk to you guys together, and also be able to and take questions and answers and what we want to do and what the vision for these lives are. And this blog is going to be for you guys to be able to come on and ask questions, and also privately and in person, and for other mothers and daughters teams that have found themselves through brokenness being blessed even through their brokenness. So we have quite a few list of people that has already asked to be a part of this. So what we're going to do is, first of all, find our way to get this thing, because we want to make sure that we're catering to you guys and not to ourselves. So because she's in one state and I'm in another, it's already a challenge, but we want to make sure we're doing it as professionally and as openly and as honestly as we can, and we don't want to just have to make a video and then send it to you. We would like to be live, but this time we had to do it this way because of the connection, and it kept cutting off for some reason. But we want you to know.
I was all gassed up too. I was pumped. I'm still pumped though. I'm still hyped. Yeah. I guess in the beginning I was like, oh look, like
yeah, we was both getting frustrated. We made a whole long video and it just cut off with no sound. So I don't know what that was about. But we want to share with y'all our little vacation package real quick and show y'all where we're at. Sunny Florida. Let me see if I can turn it and just let y'all see what God is doing in our lives today real quick. So Yeah, well, this is our last little night together, and we're waiting on our
What
flight.
God is doing in our lives and what He's pushing us to help you guys do in yours.
Ooh, girl,
So
I did not
it's not
tell you.
about us. Don't think that it's about us. It's about us to a certain extent when it comes to our self-love and our confidence and things of that sort. But it's more so to give back, to pour into others. Because I definitely know this is a big step for me. I'm just gonna keep it real because I'm not really like one of them people. I do my selfie thing or whatever, and I'll be like, "Yo, I'm cool. I ain't feeling none of that." But I know
I'll talk you to death.
I know that it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. And I just told my mother, she's like, "Oh, we can do this, and that." I'm like, "All right, Jonesy, I'm tired of hiding out. Let's do this." So here we are. And like my mother said, like I said, it's not going to work for us, may not work for you. We're just here to kind of give you guys an idea of how to communicate or what tactful ways will work to communicate. Because what happens is sometimes we get so angry and all we want to do is yell, and nobody's being heard.
Yeah.
So that's all. Love you guys. Look forward to your questions, and we definitely will answer the best we can. And if we can, and mothers and daughters, if you guys have something that you know
Can
that
help
works,
somebody
yes,
else,
that can
yeah.
help someone else, please feel free to share it with us as well, or just type it in when we do the lives or whatever the case may be, and that would definitely be of help. So I'll turn it back up to my mom. I love you guys. God bless, and
Pray for us as we get on our flights as I travel back to St. Louis and my daughter travels back to New York tonight. But we wanted to tell you that we love you. We'll see you soon. And trust and believe that we are praying for you and that we are definitely looking forward to these chronicles, these mother and daughter chronicles that not only is going to touch our lives, but definitely touch yours. Love you. Goodbye.